The second piece in the credit puzzle, the credit score puzzle, is your credit utilization ratio or your credit utilization. Same. So credit utilization makes up 30% of your credit score. It's in part of the 5 big components here. But what is it? What is that credit utilization ratio? The credit utilization ratio is the amount of revolving credit you're currently using divided by the total amount of revolving credit you have available. So basically, it's how much you currently owe divided by your credit limit. For example, if you have a total of $100,000 in credit available across 2 credit cards and a balance of $50,000 on one, your credit utilization rate is 50%. You're using half of the total credit you have available to you. You can calculate an overall credit utilization ratio as well as a ratio for each of your credit accounts. This is called your per card ratio. For example, as we mentioned, if you had a $100,000 credit limit and you're using $50,000, your utilization rate is 50%. But if each of your cards had a limit of $50,000 and you owe $30,000 on one and $20,000 on the other, each you'd have 60% credit utilization per card on one, and then you have 40% of credit utilization on the other, because it's $30,000 out of the $50,000 credit dollar limit for that card, $20,000 out of the $50,000 credit limit for the other card. But overall, it would be a 50% credit utilization limit because it's out of the total. So a low credit utilization rate shows you're using less of your available credit. Credit scoring models generally interpret this as an indication you're doing a good job managing your credit by not overspending. And by keeping your spending in check, that can help you reach higher credit scores. You know, you can get with those higher credit scores, more loans at better rates. Very cool, right? So what's a good utilization rate? These arbitrary rules that these credit card companies come up with are ridiculous, but it is commonly recommended to keep your total credit utilization rate below 30%. Yeah, I've heard between 30 and 40, under 30 and 40, but it's highly recommended to be under 30%. So for example, if your total credit limit is $100,000, your total revolving balance shouldn't exceed $30,000, because 30,000 out of 100,000 is 30%. They believe that a low credit utilization ratio is considered an indicator that you're doing a good job managing that credit responsibly, very far from overspending. How about that? A higher rate, however, could be a flag to potential lenders that you're having trouble managing your finances. So essentially, they offer you to spend up to a crazy amount of money, but then if you do it, if you take them up on it, penalized. It's the way the game works, though. So, should you open a credit card to improve your credit utilization rate? No. You need to pay off your monthly balance each month and you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. Keep open credit accounts that have 0 balances, even if you don't intend to use them. Get your credit card balance down to 0, and you could never use it again if you didn't want to. You could request for a credit limit increase. It's also a way, if you wanted to get that credit utilization rate down, is by making the limit go up. So then your spending would stay the same, but your utilization rate would go down. Crazy. So concluding thoughts are credit in comparison to getting out of debt and building wealth virtually does not matter. It's better to have a lot of money in the bank. And this gets me worked up. It does. Credit score is just a game banks set up to maximize their own profits. Don't fall for the trap of paying them even more money so you can earn the right to borrow more money and pay them more money. Instead, stay dedicated to getting out of debt as fast as you can so we can start building wealth, so we'll never have to use a credit score ever again. Personally, I borrowed money once in my life to go to college, and that was one event that cost me $60,000 and malnutrition for a year. I'm merely providing this information about credit so you understand how it works. So that is credit utilization and the ratio, credit utilization ratio. I'll see you in the next one.